Hey y'all, so continuation of get your studio organized. So we're in the collage section of my studio, and I want to show you how I store some of my papers. I do have 3 areas where I store collage paper, but this one is a big one because this is where I kind of store all the little bits and bobs. So my main bin is this. This is one of those snap together things again. So you can see they snap apart. I love this thing. I keep them neutrals, warms, cools. These papers, this is like found paper. This is mixed paper. This is found paper. This is paper that has pattern on it. Anything that I have either purchased or found, something that I'm recycling, that is what I store in this big thing. Handmade papers, this is where I store papers that I have like drawn and created myself. Here again, I store everything in rainbow or warm, cool order. It just makes it easy to find. It's so chunky, the thing broke, so I had to put this is a bathing suit tie, y'all, but it was like from my favorite bathing suit, so it brings me joy to like see it on here. What I have in these snap bins is more handmade paper, so paper that I have. This is all handmade paper. It's little bits and bobs that I organize according to like shape. This is bits and bobs. This is fun because this is a tea tin. If I can get it out of here. A tea tin, and I store cut pieces in it. So I encourage you to kind of think outside the box when it comes to how you need to store your stuff. And it, as you can see, it's like personal to what do you have and what does it need to go in. So this tray, again, shop the bathroom organization section at the store. This is, I got this goes into like a drawer for you to organize your bathroom stuff, your makeup, all that kind of thing. But it's perfect for storing my little bits of paper. In this corner back here, this is all just colored cardstock. I went through a phase where I was using a ton of colored cardstock, so this is kind of leftovers from that. And this snap together is filled with like patterned paper or non-handmade by me paper, if that makes sense. So I want to show you the bottom real quick. Because I do store, let me pull this big old sucker out. Ugh, this guy's a beast. Okay, so this is where I keep maps, found paper, envelopes. I love working with envelopes. Origami paper is in here. And this is something I will take travel, like it's filled with little bits and bobs for taking on a trip with me. I store things in these baggies because it does help me stay organized, right? So this is like travel maps. A buddy of mine travels to Europe all the time, and so he's always bringing me interesting things. So I store those things in here. So this is just another way for you to stay organized. I started collecting, y'all, these are awesome, paper dolls. I haven't actually used them yet, but how do you not buy vintage paper dolls when you find them in the store? So I keep them here. One day I will come up with something. And these are old, I love old travel stuff. So this is my bin for that. I am not gonna shove it back on there because it's gonna take my entire body to push it back in there. And back here, this box, this is the only box, well, maybe not my only box. I do have a couple boxes that you can't see through. But I know what's in here. It's patterns. It's vintage patterns. Oh, I'm so glad I saw this. Okay, so you say, why do you have a bar of Irish Spring in your box of papers? So I live in the South. It's very buggy. When I say buggy, I mean we have bugs, y'all. We have lots of bugs down here in the South. So if you live in a tropical place, or if you have an issue with little critters where you live, Irish Spring, this stuff smells so potent. You store your goods with this. The bugs do not like it. It's like too smelly, too potent. They will not come eat your stuff. I know this. So I'm going to tell you Rachel, how did you learn to store Irish Spring? So I was in a knitting store, because y'all know I knit with my woolly bowls, and a little lady, she had to be like 100 years old, y'all. I was telling them that I had trouble with this really woolly looking weird like alien centipede thing getting into my wool, and I didn't know how to I had tried mothballs didn't work. She says, oh honey, you just got to get you some Irish Spring and store that in all your containers of all your wool and your yarn. And I did. I have been doing this, I kid you not, for 15 years, and I don't know silverfish, no creepy alien centipedes in my stuff. It totally, like, they're gone. They don't like it. So old stuff like this, like silverfish in particular, I think silverfish are everywhere. They love to eat this, and they like to eat glue. So if you just chuck a bar of Irish Spring in your papers, your fabrics, your yarn, you're going to ward off all the bugs. So that's why that's in this box. And in this box right here, I'm not going to move it because it's super heavy. It is filled with travel maps. So, and it's clear, so I can see through it. Some things are easy, like you just memorize and you know what's in that box. So, so this is pretty much how I store collage stuff in this area. I've got two other places where I store collage, which I will show you in, I'll show you at the end of this one. I'll tack them on to this one. And this shelf up here, this is bookbinding. So I'm not really going to talk to you about bookbinding, but this is just like this whole shelf is where I keep anything that has to do with making books. So let's pop over to the other two places where I store paper. Okay, so on the back of this door is where I store bigger papers and papers that I have mono printed. So, and all of this is used for collage. So this is a bunch of handmade, really just delicate, handmade papers. So skirt, pants, hangers. This is perfect storage for your larger items. This is an over-the-door hanger so the bottom one holds all the papers. I usually have my aprons hanging from the top part of this. And this is great. I love this because I can flip through them. So super easy to see what you have here. I will tell you where I got this idea. So my local art supply store, Moe's Art Supply on Columbia Street, they have in the back of the store giant clothing racks, the big round ones that spin from like the late 70s, early 80s. And that's how they store all of their large sheets of decorative paper, is clipped onto clothing. And I was like, this is brilliant. How can I do it at my house? So this is what I came up with, is the stackable. These are the stackable hangers for your clothing. So this was my solution for that. So let's go look at the, actually, I said I only had 2 more spaces. I actually have, this was one, I've got another and another. So I'm going to show you those 2 right now. Okay, welcome to my jungle. This is another way that I store paper, is I just keep it rolled. And this is a trash can, and I love these mesh trash cans. I actually have a couple around the studio that is holding just rounded things or tall things. And so this little guy just lives in my bay window, and it's pretty. I enjoy it, and keeps my ZZ plant comfy. Okay, y'all, this is the last and final place that I store paper, and I found this thing. What is it? It's a shelving thing. I found this on Amazon. And so this is where I store all of my mono-printed paper that I have created myself. So again, I've got it separated into cool color, warm colors at the bottom, cool colors at the top, and then it's just organized, you know, in other, like this is all, what do you call it, metallics and that type of thing. This is botanical prints. So I actually ended up ordering, I ordered one of these, and it came in and it was missing parts. And when I reached out to the company to get the parts, they sent me a whole like brand new thing, because that's what they do today. So it actually turned out to be a blessing, because I ended up with the extra baskets, because they didn't want like the missing parts one back. So I was able to create the original little cabinet thing, or whatever this is, drawers, but was left with all the spare part. Like, you see what I'm saying? So these baskets are awesome. So I use them and just store things in them because they stack. So it's really quite wonderful. So the little and my mono printed paper. So I hope this has inspired you and given you some ideas and inspiration for organizing and creating your own space. So happy organizing, y'all.